Welcome back to my channel. Hey guys, hey my lovely queens, welcome back. So today I'd already done my eyebrows and I want to do a look for you guys. So we started off with some powder, and this is the Maybelline powder. I just press it in all over my skin, and my skin is already cleansed, so I'm gonna do that all over my skin. Then I prep my eyes. I'm using a white concealer to prep my eyes. You can get this in almost all concealers mostly, but if you don't get a white concealer, you can just use an eye primer or your concealer that you use. Then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna start by patting in the color shade of my skin, which is my face powder, because we want it to look natural but like a full glam. Then I'm going in with my Juvia's eyeshadow palette, and I'm gonna go in with orange because today we're doing a look that is giving us sunset vibes, rich auntie, and also beginner friendly. So pat that in. Make sure your concealer is still a little bit wet so that it can be able to grab onto the pigment. Then I went in with the brown shade because we're doing kind of neutral but not too neutral vibes. I went in with orange and brown, and as you can see, I'm just tapping, and now I'm dragging a little bit to give it that cat eye at the outer corner, because you don't want your eyeshadow to just drop where you ended it at. You have to blend it, okay? And once you now start blending, you see the upper part of the eyeshadow or the outside corners of the eyeshadow, you just blend gently, go around and blend it. So my wing liner is definitely popping, and this is how I achieve it. I start off with a very thin line, like be as accurate and as sharp as you can. Don't go fast. Right now, of course, it's forwarded, you won't see the process as slow as I was doing it, but I didn't like put anything on fast motion. I just edited and cut the clips. So I start in with the inner part, the inner line, then now I go and draw the wing and now drag it until it meets the inner line where I feel like it looks okay, especially on your eyes. You have to practice this for this to just make sense, but that's what I do, and I fill it in. And I'm using just gold eyeliner, and it's not like the liquid one, it's more of like the pomade kind. But yeah, my wing are not twins, but they're sisters. So I use this bronzer. This same bronzer is what we're gonna use to highlight and in the inner tear duct. Now that is called the inner tear duct. I use the back of my brush because I feel it is much better and it's more gentle actually. So these lashes, I got them from Nyla Lashes. I'm gonna leave her handle down below. Get yourself some lashes. She has really dope lashes, and I think I've done an eyelash tutorial for so many times. If you don't follow me on IG or TikTok, the handles are gonna be on the screen. Please do, so that you can learn these things. I really do these things on my TikTok. So I apply the lash glue first, then I wait for it to get tacky, then I just drop the lash. So the trick is you have to make sure you pima the lash first to fit your eye. Then once it fits your eye, when you're dropping it, you make sure the outer corner goes first, then you put it back in to the inner corner. We start, are you seeing? Outer corner, make sure it's placed exactly where you want it to end, because you've already pimaed them. I mean, you've already like measured them and cut them and trimmed them, so they'll fit your eye perfectly. Then all you need to do is attach it on that line of the glue. Make sure you're as close to your lash line as possible so that it can look real, and then wait for it to be a little bit tacky and press them in for a secure hold. Now I did the primer, and I did the Revlon primer. I think it's the Photo Shoot Ready primer, but all I can say is this: when you're using your primer, make sure your primer is applied as smooth as possible. Make sure you get in there, let it melt in your skin, okay? And because today we're not doing a full face of foundation, I'm gonna use very little foundation. As you can see, I'm just using like a tad bit of foundation. This is going to cover just the places where you have blemishes. I think it now depends on how much you have to cover. For me, I don't have much to cover, plus I'm also going for a more natural kind of look, and we'll also add powder at the very end of it all also. So make sure you get your under eyes, where you have the spots, your chin, anywhere you have like those pigmentations, but use very little product. and also blend with the beauty blender so that it can also suck up the excess. And make sure you blend, guys. Are you seeing how well I'm blending? So when it comes to the forehead part in between, like squeeze that beauty blender so that it can be able to maneuver in those areas. So once you're done with that, your face will look somehow like that, not fully covered but very good. And then you start putting your powder. For the under eyes, as you can see, always look up, then go in with your powder. Make sure you are feeling where the brush is landing so that you don't poke your eyes. Okay, then tap. Tapping motions help you get a more even coverage even though it's powder. So, and I'm also using a brush that's very thick and dense, as you can see, and I'm using stippling motion so that I can also cover those dark spots again with the powder. This needs good quality powder for this to work. However, our skin is not perfect. It has texture, it has spots, so be kind to yourself and don't take it too seriously. Like, some of the spots make it look even more natural. So yeah, the face is looking cute. So now we're going to bronze it. If your powder matches completely, you don't have to, but I kind of like a little bit snatched face, so I'm going in with the bronzer, which is from Black Radiance and I'm gonna go in circular motions with a fluffy brush that is actually tiny. I hope I'm making sense. A fluffy brush that is tiny, and I go all over the parameters of my face, my cheekbones, my forehead, my jawline, the nose, like everywhere I want it to look snatched. And this just brings back your natural contour of your face, because we are not all one color in our face. We kind of have some shadows and some highlighted areas. So that's what I'm doing here. And by doing this in your jawline, especially if you're doing a bronzer on your jawline, it helps snatch your jawline even more. And for me, for my face shape, I have kind of an oval face shape. I always contour my chin, under my chin, and across my chin. It just gives me a good lift, and you'll see the difference. It doesn't look like I'm doing much, but the outcome is definitely gonna be giving. I also snatch my nose with the bronzer because sometimes contour can be too dark. So for me, I find bronzer to be the perfect shade to contour my nose. I also added in a darker shade just for now contour. Like, the bronzer was for contour, but that was to give me warmth. And now the contour is to give me that depth, the darkness, the shadow. And I'm just gonna do it close to the temples. I won't drag it much down, mostly close to the temples, just to give it a more darker gradient effect. I hope you can understand this kizongo. Now for the lips part, I'm gonna highlight it just a tad bit, and my nose and at the bridge of my nose. These days I don't like putting too much highlighter. After this, I'm gonna blend it out again. I just want to put enough to give me that reflection and glow, because I tend to be oily. So by the time I get oily, I already get that natural glow. I don't need the glow from the highlighter or wherever. So I usually just put just a little so that when the glow comes, it's popping. So here I'm actually using the same brush I used for my face powder to blend it in so that it matches my skin as well. Like, blend your makeup always. You can't go wrong if you keep blending your makeup, trust you me. Now for the lips, I'm using a black liner because I'm doing red and I want to give it an ombre effect, so I'm using black lip liner. It's a black kajal, but it's usually so oily that I just use it for my lips. And then here I'm using Forever 52 lipstick, and they have a variety of red shades. I don't know which one this was, but I really love this shade on my skin tone. Like, these are things you have to keep trying and shopping for, but I'll give you one. I wish I could be an ambassador for Huda. So if you guys can make that happen and tell her that your girl here really loves her products, I would really appreciate. Get your lippy in Vamp. You will thank me later. That is one of the best red lips for all skin tones. So here I'm using the same one I used on my eyelids, the eyeliner, and you can see the difference, man. So So you guys have finally reached the end of the tutorial, and this is how the look is giving. I went and added a wig just to make it, you know, look extra, but this is the finished look, and this makeup will last you all day. It is sweat proof, it is heat proof. Like, share and subscribe this content. We need to reach 1,000 subscribers, guys, so kindly share my content, like, and thanks for watching. See you guys in my next tutorial. Bye. Mwah.